Asterisk, or when racing thoughts take over, and you need God's peace in the darkest hours, dear precious soul lying awake at 3 a.m. I know you're here because sleep has abandoned you again. Your mind is a whirlwind of thoughts that won't quiet down. The house is silent, but inside your head, it's chaos. The worries that seemed manageable during the day have grown into monsters in the darkness. And you feel so alone, so overwhelmed, so completely exhausted by your own thoughts. Maybe you've been lying there for hours already, tossing and turning, checking the clock every few minutes, watching the numbers change as sleep continues to escape you. Maybe you fell asleep for a little while, only to wake up with your heart racing, your mind immediately flooding with all the things that are wrong, all the things you can't control, all the things that terrify you about tomorrow. Perhaps you're the parent lying awake, worried about your children, their future, their safety, their happiness. Are you making the right decisions for them? Are you enough? Are you failing them in ways you don't even realize? The weight of responsibility feels crushing in these quiet hours when doubt creeps in like shadows. Or maybe you're the student facing exams that could determine your entire future. Lying here with textbooks scattered around you, feeling like no matter how much you study, it will never be enough. The pressure to succeed, to make your family proud, to not waste the opportunities you've been given. It all feels overwhelming when the world is asleep and you're alone with your fears. You might be the person waiting for test results that could change everything. The scan, the biopsy, the lab work that holds answers you're terrified to receive. Every ache in your body feels amplified at 3 a.m. Every symptom feels like confirmation of your worst fears. Perhaps you're grieving someone you love, and the nights are the hardest because there are no distractions from the pain, no busy schedule to keep your mind occupied. The empty space beside you in bed, the phone that will never ring with their voice again, the future you planned together that will never be. Maybe you're facing financial ruin, lying here calculating and recalculating numbers that never add up right. The bills due tomorrow, the rent you can't pay, the credit cards maxed out, the job you lost, the business that's failing, the shame of potentially having to ask for help, the fear of losing everything you've worked for. You could be the one whose marriage is falling apart, whose relationship is hanging by a thread. The words that were said in anger earlier today replay in your mind like a broken record. The growing distance between you and the person you once couldn't imagine living without. The children who would be caught in the middle if everything falls apart. Or maybe you're the one battling addiction, lying here clean for today but terrified about tomorrow. The cravings that feel stronger in the darkness, the shame of past mistakes, the fear that you'll never be truly free, that you'll always be fighting this battle. But whatever brought you here tonight, whatever is keeping your eyes wide open when your body is desperate for rest, know this: you are not alone. Even at 3 a.m., especially at 3 a.m., God sees you. He knows exactly why you can't sleep. He sees every anxious thought racing through your mind, every worry that's keeping your heart pounding, every fear that's stolen your peace. If this is exactly how you're feeling right now, you're in the right place. I create these prayers specifically for souls like you who need God's peace in the darkest hours. If you find comfort in these words tonight, please subscribe so I can continue bringing you more prayers for life's hardest moments. This prayer is for you, dear one, for your restless heart, your weary mind, and your soul that desperately needs rest. Let these words wash over you like a gentle tide, bringing the peace that only God can give. Take a deep breath with me now. Let the air fill your lungs slowly, deeply. Hold it for a moment, and then release it slowly, imagining that you're breathing out all the tension, all the worry, all the fear that's been building up inside you. Let's bring your 3 a.m. anxiety to the feet of Jesus together. Heavenly Father, here I am again. It's 3 a.m. and I can't sleep. My mind won't stop racing, and the thoughts keep coming like waves I can't control. Lord, you see me lying here in the darkness, and you know every single worry that's keeping me awake. You know the specific fears that have their claws in my heart tonight. I'm tired, God. I'm so incredibly tired. Not just physically tired, though my body aches from the tension I've been carrying. I'm emotionally tired, spiritually tired, mentally exhausted from fighting these thoughts alone. I'm tired of feeling like I'm drowning in my own mind. Tired of the constant battle between faith and fear. Tired of feeling like I should be stronger than this. The world expects me to have it all together. During the day, I wear the mask of someone who's got their life figured out. I smile and say, I'm fine when people ask how I'm doing. I go through the motions of normalcy, but inside, I feel like I'm barely holding on. And at night, when there's no one to perform for, when the mask comes off, this is what's left, this anxious, worried, overwhelmed version of myself that I don't want anyone to see. I'm exhausted from trying to solve problems that feel too big for me, the bills that are coming due, and I don't know where the money will come from. The relationship that's deteriorating despite my best efforts to fix it. The health concerns that keep me awake with worry. The future that feels so uncertain, so beyond my control. I feel like I'm failing at everything that matters. As a parent, I worry I'm messing up my children, that they'll need therapy someday because of my mistakes. As a spouse, I feel like I'm not enough, like I'm letting down the person who depends on me most. At work, I feel like I'm always behind, always disappointing someone, always falling short of expectations. But your word tells me that you never sleep. While I'm lying here struggling, you are wide awake, watching over me with perfect love. You promise that you think about me more than the grains of sand on the seashore. Even now, at 3 a.m., your thoughts toward me are precious and countless. You're not disappointed in me for being here again. You're not frustrated with my anxiety. You understand that I'm human, that I'm fragile, that I need you desperately. Lord, I bring you my racing mind. These thoughts that spiral and spin and won't let me rest. I place them in your hands right now. The what-ifs that torture me, playing out every possible worst-case scenario until I'm paralyzed with fear. What if I lose my job? What if the test results are bad? What if my children make the same mistakes I did? What if I can't pay the bills? What if I'm not enough? What if I fail everyone who's counting on me? These thoughts feel so real, so urgent, so important at 3 a.m. They convince me that I need to solve everything right now, that I need to have all the answers before I can rest. But you're reminding me that most of what I worry about never actually happens. Most of the scenarios my mind creates are just fear talking, not reality. I'm worried about tomorrow, God. I'm scared about how I'm going to handle everything on my plate. The job interview that could change everything. What if I say the wrong thing? What if they can see that I'm not qualified? What if this opportunity slips through my fingers? The medical test results I'm waiting for. What if it's the diagnosis I've been dreading? What if my worst fears are confirmed? What if I have to face something I don't have the strength to handle? I'm worried about my children, Lord. In this dark, quiet hour, every parenting mistake feels magnified. The times I lost my patience, the moments I was too busy to really listen, the ways I might be damaging them without even realizing it. I lie here wondering if I'm enough, if I'm giving them what they need, if I'm preparing them for a world that feels increasingly chaotic and uncertain. My marriage, my relationships, they feel so fragile right now. The words that were spoken in anger, the growing distance, the way we seem to be talking past each other instead of to each other. I'm terrified of losing the people I love most, but I don't know how to bridge the gaps that seem to be widening every day. The finances, God, they feel impossible. I've done the math over and over, and it never adds up, right? The bills keep coming, the expenses keep mounting, and the income feels insufficient. I feel like I'm drowning in debt, drowning in responsibility, drowning in the weight of providing for everyone who depends on me. Your word says to cast all my anxiety on you because you care for me. So right now, in this quiet darkness, I'm casting it all on you. Every worry, every fear, every anxious thought, I'm giving them to you because I trust that you care about every detail of my life. You care about my fears for my children. You care about my marriage. You care about my finances. You care about my health. You care about my work. Nothing is too small or too insignificant for your attention. Father, you know the thoughts that won't leave me alone, the mistakes I made today that I keep replaying like a movie I can't turn off. The conversation I wish I could take back, the words I said in anger that I can't unsay. The opportunity I'm afraid I missed because I was too scared to take a risk. The person I disappointed because I wasn't strong enough, smart enough, good enough. I keep replaying these moments, analyzing every detail, trying to figure out how I could have done better, but this mental replay isn't helping me. It's just feeding my anxiety, making me feel worse about myself, stealing my peace and my rest. Replace these anxious thoughts with your peace, Lord. Fill the spaces where worry lives with your perfect love. Help me remember that you are in control when everything feels chaotic. You have a plan when I can't see the path forward. You have answers when I only have questions. You have solutions when I only see problems. I confess that I've been trying to be God in my own life. I've been trying to control things that are impossible for me to control. I've been trying to manage outcomes that are entirely in your hands. I've been worrying about things that haven't even happened yet, things that may never happen, things that are completely outside my sphere of influence. I've been trying to control other people, to make my children make good choices, to make my spouse love me the way I need to be loved, to make my boss appreciate my work, to make my friends understand me. But I can't control anyone but myself, and even that is a challenge most days. I've been trying to control circumstances, to prevent bad things from happening, to guarantee good outcomes, to ensure that my plans work out exactly as I've envisioned them, but life is unpredictable, and my attempts to control it have only led to more anxiety, more frustration, more exhaustion. Forgive me for not trusting you with my future, for not believing that you really do work all things together for good. Forgive me for acting like I know better than you what's best for my life. Forgive me for trying to carry burdens that were never meant for my shoulders. Right now, I choose to surrender. I release my grip on the things I've been trying to control, the people I've been trying to change, the situations I've been trying to fix, the outcomes I've been trying to guarantee. I place them all in your capable hands. I surrender my children to you, Lord. I've been lying here, worried sick about their future, about the choices they'll make, about the world they're growing up in. But you love them even more than I do. You have plans for them that are better than anything I could imagine. Help me to parent them with wisdom and love, but help me to remember that ultimately they belong to you. I surrender my marriage to you. I've been trying so hard to fix everything, to be the perfect spouse, to solve all our problems on my own. But you designed marriage, and you know how to heal what's broken. Show me how to love better, how to communicate better, how to be the partner you've called me to be. But help me to trust you with the outcome. I surrender my finances to you. I know that you own the cattle on 1,000 hills, that you're the source of every blessing, that you can provide in ways I've never imagined. Help me to be a good steward of what you've given me, but help me to trust you to provide what I need. You've promised that you'll supply all my needs according to your riches in glory, and I choose to believe that promise. I surrender my health to you, the symptoms that worry me, the test results I'm waiting for, the fears about what might be wrong. I place all of it in your hands. You're the great physician, and whether you choose to heal me or to walk with me through illness, I trust that you'll give me everything I need for whatever lies ahead. I surrender my work to you, the pressures, the deadlines, the relationships with colleagues that are difficult, the fear of failure, the imposter syndrome that makes me feel like everyone will eventually figure out that I don't know what I'm doing. I give it all to you. Help me to work with excellence as unto you, but help me to find my identity in being your child, not in my job performance. God, I need your peace that surpasses all understanding, the kind of peace that doesn't make sense to the world, that can exist even in the middle of storms. I need the peace that Jesus had when he slept during the storm, while the disciples panicked around him. The peace that comes from knowing you are sovereign over every wave, every wind, every circumstance that threatens to overwhelm me. I think about that story, Lord. The disciples were experienced fishermen, but they were terrified by the storm. They thought they were going to die. But Jesus was sleeping peacefully because he knew his Father was in control. He wasn't worried because he understood something they didn't, that storms are temporary, but God's power is eternal. I want to learn to sleep like Jesus did, not because my circumstances are perfect, but because I trust that you're bigger than any storm I'm facing. Help me to rest in your sovereignty, to find peace in your presence, to sleep in the confidence that you're watching over me. Quiet my mind, Father. Slow down the thoughts that are racing like a hamster on a wheel, going nowhere but exhausting me in the process. Help me to focus on your voice instead of the voice of fear. Help me to remember your promises instead of dwelling on my problems. You promised that you will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you. I choose to fix my thoughts on you right now, on your faithfulness that has carried me through every difficult season before this one. You've never failed me, never abandoned me, never left me to face anything alone. The job loss that felt like the end of the world, you provided. The health scared that terrified me, you walked me through it. The relationship that broke my heart, you healed me. The financial crisis that seemed impossible, you made a way. I think about your love that never fails, never gives up, never runs out. Even when I'm anxious, even when I'm doubtful, even when I'm lying here at 3 a.m., feeling like a spiritual failure, your love for me doesn't diminish. You don't love me more when I'm strong and less when I'm weak. Your love is constant, unchanging, unfailing. I think about your power that is greater than any problem I'm facing. The same power that created the universe, that parted the Red Sea, that raised Jesus from the dead, That power is available to me, not necessarily to remove all my problems, but to give me the strength to face them, the wisdom to navigate them, the peace to endure them. Lord, you see the physical effects of this anxiety too. My heart that won't stop racing, feeling like it might beat right out of my chest. My muscles that are tense and knotted, especially in my neck and shoulders, where I carry all my stress. My stomach that's in knots, that acid feeling of worry that sits in my gut. My chest that feels tight, like there's a weight pressing down on me, making it hard to breathe deeply. My hands might be shaking slightly from the adrenaline of anxiety. My jaw is probably clenched tight. My breathing is shallow and quick instead of deep and peaceful. My mind feels foggy and scattered, like I can't think clearly through the haze of worry. Bring healing to my body as well as my mind, Father. Release the tension in my muscles. Slow my heart rate down to a peaceful rhythm. Ease the knots in. My stomach, help me to breathe deeply and fully. Clear the fog from my mind. Relax my jaw, my shoulders, my entire body. You created my body to need rest, and you want me to sleep peacefully. Psalm 127 says that you give your beloved sleep. I am your beloved Father. I belong to you. You purchased me with the precious blood of your Son, so I'm asking you to give me the sleep my body and mind desperately need. Help me to remember that tomorrow's troubles are not mine to carry tonight. Jesus said that each day has enough trouble of its own, and tomorrow will have enough worry of its own. But right now, all I need to do is rest in you. I don't need to solve everything tonight. I don't need to figure out all the answers before I can sleep. Tomorrow's challenges will still be there in the morning, but you will give me the strength I need when that day comes. You promise that your mercies are new every morning, that your faithfulness is great, so I can rest tonight knowing that tomorrow will bring fresh grace, new strength, divine provision for whatever I need to face. I think about the sparrows, Lord, how you care for them and provide for their every need. They don't worry about tomorrow's food. They trust that you'll provide. You said, I am worth more than many sparrows. If you watch over them and make sure they have what they need, how much more will you watch over me? You know what I need before I even ask. You know about the bills before they arrive in my mailbox. You know about the challenges before they appear on my horizon. You know about my needs before I'm even aware of them myself. I think about the lilies of the field, how they don't worry about what they'll wear, yet you clothe them more beautifully than Solomon in all his glory. You said that if you take such care of the grass, which is here today and gone tomorrow, how much more will you clothe me, your child, your beloved? If you provide for the birds and the flowers, surely you'll provide for me. Help me to trust in your provision, to rest in your care, to stop worrying about things that you've already promised to handle. Father, I pray for everyone else who is lying awake at 3 a.m. tonight. The single mother who doesn't know how she's going to pay rent next week, who's working 2 jobs but still can't make ends meet. Give her provision, Lord. Show her that you see her struggle, that you honor her sacrifice, that you have a plan to meet her needs. I pray for the student who's stressed about exams that feel like they determine their entire future. Remind them that their worth isn't determined by their grades, that you have plans for them that aren't dependent on perfect test scores. Give them peace and wisdom as they study and take their exams. I pray for the person who just lost someone they love, who's facing their first night alone in years. Asterisk. Comfort them in their grief. Lord, remind them that their loved one is safe in your arms. that this separation is temporary, that love never truly dies. I pray for the couple whose marriage is struggling, who went to bed angry again tonight. Soften their hearts toward each other, Lord. Help them to remember why they fell in love. Give them the humility to apologize, the grace to forgive, the wisdom to work through their problems together. I pray for those facing health crises, waiting for test results, dealing with chronic pain or illness. Be their strength when they feel weak. Be their hope when they feel scared. Be their peace when they feel overwhelmed. I pray for those struggling with addiction, fighting battles that no one else can see. Give them strength for today, wisdom to seek help, hope that recovery is possible, and the knowledge that you love them unconditionally regardless of their struggles. I pray for those dealing with depression and mental illness, for whom 3 a.m. feels especially dark and hopeless. Remind them that they are not alone, that their lives have value, that this darkness is not permanent, that you have plans for their future. Bring them your peace too, Lord. Let them know they're not alone in their 3 a.m. anxiety. Let them feel your presence right now, wherever they are, whatever they're facing. Thank you that even in my weakness, even in my worry, even in my sleepless nights, you love me completely. You're not disappointed in me for struggling with anxiety. You're not frustrated with me for lying awake when I should be sleeping. You're not annoyed that I'm here again with the same worries I brought to you last week. You understand that I'm human, that I'm fragile, that I need you desperately. You know that anxiety isn't a sin, it's part of being human in a broken world. You don't condemn me for my fears. Instead, you invite me to bring them to you so you can replace them with your peace. You're patient with my process, understanding that growth takes time, that healing isn't always linear, that some lessons have to be learned over and over again. You don't expect me to have perfect faith. You meet me where I am and work with the faith I have, even when it feels small and fragile. I choose to trust you with tomorrow, God, with next week, next month, next year. I don't know what's coming, but I know you do. I don't have the answers, but I know you do. I can't see the path, but I know you can. I don't know how things will work out, but I know that you work all things together for good for those who love you. If you're feeling a shift in your heart right now, if God's peace is beginning to settle over your anxiety, I want you to know that He has so much more for you. This is why I share these prayers, because I believe God wants to meet you in every difficult moment. If these words have brought you comfort, please take a moment to subscribe and let me know in the comments how God is speaking to your heart tonight. Help me to live one day at a time, one moment at a time, one breath at a time. Help me to stop borrowing trouble from tomorrow and instead rest in your provision for today. You've been faithful for every day of my life so far, and I can trust you to be faithful for every day that's coming. You've never given me more than I could handle, though sometimes it felt like I was at my breaking point. You've always provided a way through, even when I couldn't see it at the time. You've turned my messes into messages, my tests into testimonies, my pain into purpose. Lord Jesus, I remember that you understand sleepless nights. You spent whole nights in prayer, wrestling with the weight of what was to come. You felt the weight of the world on your shoulders, literally carrying the sins and sorrows of humanity. You experienced anxiety so intense in the Garden of Gethsemane that you sweat drops of blood. You know what it's like to have a racing mind and a heavy heart, but you also know what it's like to have perfect peace in the middle of storms. You slept peacefully in the boat while the disciples panicked around you. You remained calm while facing false accusations, unjust trials, and crucifixion. You had peace because you trusted your Father completely, even when the circumstances were terrible. Teach me to find that peace. Show me how to rest even when circumstances are chaotic. Help me to sleep with the confidence that comes from knowing my life is in your hands. Help me to trust like you trusted, to surrender like you surrendered, to find peace like you found peace. I picture you right here with me now, Jesus, sitting beside my bed, watching over me with perfect love. Your presence fills this room, chasing away the shadows of fear and doubt. You're not going anywhere. You'll be here when I fall asleep, and you'll be here when I wake up. Your presence is my comfort. Your love is my security. I imagine you placing your hand on my forehead, blessing me with peace. I feel the tension leaving my body, the racing thoughts slowing down, the anxiety melting away under your touch. You speak peace to my storm just like you spoke peace to the waves on the Sea of Galilee. Father, I ask for just a few hours of peaceful sleep. Let my mind be still, let my body relax, let my spirit rest in you. And when I wake up tomorrow, help me to remember this moment of surrender. Help me to start the day with prayer instead of worry, with trust instead of anxiety, with faith instead of fear. I pray that tomorrow will be a day of your peace in my life, that the problems that seem so big at 3 a.m. will feel more manageable in the light of day, that you will open doors, provide solutions, and give me the wisdom and strength I need for whatever comes. Help me to face tomorrow with courage, knowing that you go before me. Help me to remember that I don't have to have all the answers, that I don't have to be perfect, that I don't have to carry every burden alone. You're my partner in this life, my co-pilot, my constant companion. Thank you for being the God who never sleeps, who is always watching over me, who is always ready to help. Thank you for caring about my 3 a.m. anxiety, for not being too busy or too important to comfort me in my sleepless hours. Thank you for meeting me here in the darkness and bringing your light. Thank you for loving me exactly as I am, anxious thoughts and all. Thank you for being patient with my process, for not giving up on me when I struggle, for seeing potential in me even when I can't see it in myself. I love you, Lord, even in my anxiety, especially in my anxiety. I love you, I trust you, I choose to rest in you right now. I place my weary heart, my racing mind, my exhausted body into your capable hands. Watch over me as I sleep. Guard my dreams. Let me wake refreshed and renewed, ready to face whatever tomorrow brings with your strength and peace. In Jesus' precious name, amen. Breathe deeply now, precious one. Feel God's presence surrounding you like the warmest, softest blanket you've ever felt. You are safe in His arms. You are loved beyond measure. You are not alone, even at 3 a.m., especially at 3 a.m. Let your muscles relax, starting from your head and moving slowly down to your toes. Release the tension in your forehead, around your eyes, in your jaw. Let your shoulders drop and soften. Unclench your hands and let them rest gently. Release the tightness in your chest, the knots in your stomach. Let your legs become heavy and relaxed. God is holding you now, and you can let go. Think about Jesus sleeping peacefully in the boat during the storm. The disciples were panicking, convinced they were going to die, but he was at rest because he knew his Father was in control. The same Father who protected Jesus in that boat is protecting you right now. You can have that same peace tonight. Your racing thoughts don't define you. Your anxiety doesn't diminish your worth. God loves you just as much on your sleepless nights as He does on your peaceful days. He's not disappointed in you for being here. He's honored that you came to Him with your fears instead of trying to handle them alone. Tomorrow's challenges will still be there in the morning, but you don't have to solve them at 3 a.m. Rest now, trust now. Let God handle what you cannot handle. He's got this, and He's got you. Close your eyes and repeat these truths quietly to yourself, letting them sink deep into your heart. God is in control. Even when I feel out of control, I am deeply loved. Anxiety and all, I am safe in God's hands. Tomorrow will have grace for tomorrow's troubles, right now. I can rest, I don't have to carry this alone. God's peace is greater than my anxiety. I am not forgotten, I am not abandoned. This feeling will pass. God has good plans for my life. Sweet dreams, beloved child of God. May you wake refreshed and reminded of His faithful love. You are going to be okay. Not because your problems will disappear, but because the God who created the universe is taking care of you. He who watches over Israel never slumbers nor sleeps, and He's watching over you right now. If this prayer has ministered to your heart tonight, I want to invite you to subscribe to this channel. I'm here to pray with you through every season, the sleepless nights, the overwhelming days, the moments when you need to remember that God hasn't forgotten you. Share this prayer with someone who might be lying awake at 3 a.m., struggling with their own racing thoughts. Sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is remind others that they're not alone in their anxiety. Comment below and let me know, what time is it where you are right now? What is God speaking to your heart? I read every comment and I'm praying for each of you. Rest now in His perfect peace. Close your eyes and let sleep come naturally. You've given your worries to the one who can actually handle them. Now rest in the assurance that He loves you, He's with you, and everything is going to be okay. God's got this. God's got you. Rest well, dear one. *******.